Today, we're installing a kitchen backsplash with Hexagon mosaic tiles featuring a handmade tile look. First, remove the damaged drywall and replace it with new half-inch drywall to create a clean surface for tilling. In the open section where the oven will be installed, install an MDF ledger board and make sure it is level and even across both countertops. Protect the countertops with masking paper and tape before starting the tile installation. Tape and apply joint compound to the drywall seams, then sand the high spots with 120 grit sandpaper once everything has dried. For the layout, use the microwave and stove as the main reference instead of simply centering the backsplash on the wall. Use a level to mark both a vertical and horizontal reference line across the drywall. The backsplash area is 17 3/4 inches tall, so 2 sheets of tile are needed. Plan the bottom cut so the pattern stays symmetrical and the amount of waste is minimized. Before cutting, apply painter's tape along the cut line to reduce chipping and keep the tiles from shifting. A 7-inch wet tile saw works well for mosaic tile, and a sliding table makes it easier to keep the sheet straight while cutting. Fill the saw reservoir with water so the blade stays wet and both the blade and tile remain cool during cutting. Next, mix white thin-set mortar. White thin-set works well here because the final grout is a light gray, so a darker mortar won't show through the grout lines. Mix the thin-set to the proper consistency. Let it rest for about 5 to 10 minutes, then remix it before use. Use wedge spacers along the bottom to keep the first sheet aligned with the reference line. For the first few sheets, apply enough thin-set for 1 sheet at a time so the position can be adjusted before the mortar sets. Place traditional 1/8-inch spacers between each sheet, matching the spacing already used between the tiles on the sheet. After placing each sheet, give it a small wiggle to help it settle into the mortar, then press it firmly without creating excessive squeeze out. As you continue across the wall, measure the remaining spaces from reliable reference points such as the countertop or installed tile. For outlets, include the required 1/8-inch gap when taking your measurements. Transfer the measurements onto the tile, apply painter's tape along the cut, and use an angle grinder with a diamond blade to make the opening. Keep the tile as close to the electrical box as possible without covering the screw holes used to mount the outlet. When reaching a corner, measure the distance from the wall and transfer that measurement to the tile sheet. Cut the sheet to width, then make a matching cut on the next sheet so the grout line continues cleanly through the corner. Under the window sill, cut the hexagon tiles into long rectangular pieces to fit the available space. For complicated areas, keep the main sheet simple and make detailed cuts on individual tiles. Once the bottom row is complete, remove excess thin-set from the wall and clean the grout lines. Before installing the remaining tile, pre-cut the trim pieces for the edges. After cutting the trim, smooth the edges with sandpaper or a file. Apply a small amount of thin-set behind the trim and set it in place. The trim can be installed immediately before the tile or installed first if the measurements are accurate. Around the cabinets, measure each tile individually and leave about a 1/8-inch gap between the tile and cabinet. When marking the cut, account for the thickness of the blade so the tile does not fit too tightly against the cabinet. For complicated cuts, mark and cut individual tiles instead of cutting the entire sheet. Continue the upper rows by back buttering individual tiles where the space is too tight for the trowel. Back buttering also helps keep thin-set out of the grout lines. Fill the remaining spaces between the tile sheets, trim, cabinets, and walls. Then complete the final section beside the refrigerator. Before grouting, remove all excess thin-set and clean the grout lines. After the tile has set, use sanded grout for wider joints and mix it stiff enough to hold its shape. Press the grout firmly into every joint and work in multiple directions to make sure the joints are completely filled. Start with the top and edges, then work from the bottom upward with the grout float. Use the float to remove as much excess grout as possible from the tile surface without leaving voids in the joints. Let the grout set for about 5 to 10 minutes, then begin cleaning with a damp sponge. The sponge should be wet but not dripping. Work from side to side and in different directions to smooth the grout lines and remove excess grout from the tile surface. Use separate buckets for clean and dirty water and rinse the sponge frequently. Use very light pressure and make multiple passes instead of trying to clean everything in one pass. After the grout has cured overnight, use a microfiber cloth or cheesecloth to remove the remaining grout haze from the tile surface. For heavier haze, use a grout haze remover to clean the tile surface before sealing. Next, apply a tile and grout sealer. Apply an even coat and let it soak into the tile for about 5 minutes, then wipe away any excess before it dries on the surface. Depending on how porous the tile and grout are, additional coats may be needed. A foam roller can also be used to apply the sealer evenly. For the final joint between the countertop and backsplash, apply siliconized sanded grout to create a waterproof connection and help prevent cracking. When reinstalling the outlets or switches, use spacers to bring them flush with the face of the tile instead of leaving them recessed inside the electrical box. With the final joints sealed and the outlets reinstalled, the backsplash is complete. If you're planning a kitchen or bathroom renovation, check out our tile collection for more renovation ideas and installation inspiration. Follow us for more step-by-step tile installation tutorials and practical DIY tips. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next project.